vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Time to raise.
All right, welcome y'all to Raise Your Vibration on June 12th. It's Friday morning, June 12th. Got some amazing people here, some amazing presenters today. Looking forward to having them play some music for us with Luke and Claire. Again, always love you being here. And we have today, thank you. And we have Kelly Principe, who's going to be speaking today about the energy system and chakras and how we can help ourselves in these times with certain techniques that she uses for her clients. So we look forward to having her on today. And welcome, Kelly. And as always, we like to start with music. So Luke and Claire, take it away.
Right. And remember, everybody, it sounds better if everybody else is muted.
Yeah, everyone should be muted.
So this is the actual theme song of Raise Your Vibration that Howard encouraged us to write just a few months ago. So here we go. Don't be confused, don't be ashamed. We are all here practicing the creation game. Chart out your course, get happy in between. Happy for no reason is the key to everything. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. Time to raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. Open your heart, open that door. We're here to make a difference no one's ever made before. No limitation, don't believe in lack. We're all in this together and we're not turning back. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. Don't push the river, it flows on its own. Just decide it on the ride, you bought your ticket home. Go beyond the speed of light, claim your destiny. You lit up with love and fly in perfect harmony. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. We're gonna raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. You can choose. Raise your vibration.
Sing it.
Show the world what you've got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live.
You can choose. There you go.
All right.
Hope you
As
enjoyed that.
always, thank you. That's such a catchy song. Love it. Thank you for writing that for us. Appreciate it.
It's an
And look for-
awesome song. I love the lyrics.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Howard
So we
asked me
look-
to write it, and I said, "Oh, I don't know. I have to get some inspiration on writing songs. I'll see if it comes." And the very next day, there it was.
Yeah.
There it is.
Landed in our laps, and I helped a lot with that too.
Yes, she did. Carrie wrote a lot of that.
Well,
All
thank
right,
you,
turning
too.
it over. Thank you.
All right, we look forward to having a couple more from you later, and please put your information in the chat for everyone, as always, so they know how to get a hold of you. Okay, cool, thank you. All right, next we have Kelly Principe, and Kelly I've known, actually she was gonna be a speaker at our live event in May, and it ended up that the live event didn't happen in May, so, right, so, and we all know why, so here we are online. And have looked forward to hearing you speak for the past, 5-6 months since we first met. So
Yeah.
we have a lot in common with energy work and body work and healing. And both of us have been through a lot in our lives and got ourselves out of it with healing and energy work. And look forward to hearing what you have to say, Kelly, today, and how you can help us all with techniques and tools for these times and to help us get stronger. So take it away.
All right. Yes, I have never done a Zoom event where I've presented before. I've always done live because I do demonstrations and I will bring people up on stage and demonstrate on them. So I hope you bear with me. I tried to put together a PowerPoint to illustrate as best I could. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to that and just kind of walk through because I have all the information on there that I wanted to share today. Let me go ahead and change that over. And why is it coming up? Hang on. Okay. There we go. Okay, can everybody see that? Howard, can everyone see that?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay, let me do it again. I couldn't. Can you enable the screen sharing? Sorry for the technical difficulties. Is it enabled? Oh wait, there we go. Okay. Okay, so basically energy zones of the body called chakras. There's different chakras. There's the Ayurvedic or Indian from India, Sanskrit healing modality. There's a lot of different ones around the world, but this is the one that I'm the most familiar with. They all basically end up saying the same thing because the body is the body. But I wanted to go through and explain some things about kind of how energy works and how it affects the body. I wanted to give you a little bit of background about me. I am a certified fascial stretch therapist, massage therapist. I've done neurokinetic therapy for 5 years, certified yoga instructor, primal movement, myotherapy. On the left side, that's all of the energy work that I do, including the energy relay technique, which is my technique that I have developed on my own, that I've been doing since I was a child. So this is something that the energy work comes really naturally. And then I've gotten a lot of certifications on top of that. And the reason is because I had fibromyalgia starting at 18. I was misdiagnosed, mistreated by doctors, given medication, constantly changing the medication for 5 years until the medication caused a stroke. And I had to rehab myself back from a stroke. I did that when I was in my mid-20s. Took me about 10 years before I was really back to, I don't want to say normal because it's a new normal. I'm definitely not back where I used to be. And times you'll hear me trip over my words or forget a word. That's the stroke. But I will say this, I truly believe in energy and the power of energy, because I had planned on becoming a lawyer. That was the plan. I knew I was going in for that. I was in pre-law when I got really, really sick, and I could not be deterred. I was like, I'll get better and I'm going to go into this. And I just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I kept asking, why is this happening? About 10 years later, I got the answer. It was because I was meant to go into energy healing. Had I gone into the law, once people that I knew who had actually taken that path were miserable, lots of divorces, lots of alcoholism, lots of just very unhappy and not really living their fullest potential. So I got my answer, and you know, sometimes we think that something is a bad thing, but it's really somebody's trying to give us a message. And the only reason mine got so bad was because I wouldn't listen when I had the opportunity. I had to learn the hard way. That's a lot of people too. So energy flowing through the body, there is a lot of scientific evidence now that does show energy. We are an electromagnetic system, as well as electrochemical. Energy does flow through the body. One of the ways that energy flows through the body is through fascia. Fascia is just below the skin and over the muscle. When it's alive, it has the consistency of almost cotton candy. It's fibrous and it's sticky, but it's very delicate. When it gets wet, it gets kind of those little crystals in it. You know, those little crystals in your shoulders, that's fascia that has developed, collected little toxins and stuff into it. And if you've ever pulled the skin off of chicken, and that little white filmy stuff that's under the chicken, that's fascia. That's dead fascia, but it's fascia. So the chakras, like I was saying, are energy centers of the body that flow. Chakras is a Sanskrit word that means wheel. Ancient yogis and people in India, this is an Indian energy healing modality. So everything kind of passes through the spine, going through the body, and along the chakras, it runs from the pelvic floor all the way up to the crown of the head. So we're going to kind of take them one by one. This is an important concept that I don't think a lot of people really understand yet, but they are learning. This is becoming, I'm hearing this, more and more people are starting to understand this, and this information is coming out there, that emotional hurt does leave a physical scar in the body. Emotions are frequencies. They operate on frequencies. It's an electromagnetic frequency. It's an energy wave, just like all other matter. Everything else operates on an energy wave. There are frequencies with emotions that are going to correspond with organs and different zones of the body. So an example that I have there is liver. If you hold on to anger for a long time, you're going to start to have liver problems. Pancreas can also be affected by anger, but liver is really where it's going to sit. Another example that I gave was for shoulder pain and neck pain. They correspond with the throat chakra. The frequencies in the throat chakra are associated with expression, meaning if there's something that you really wanted to say but didn't say, you're going to kind of hold it back. It gets stuck in your throat, and eventually it will start to go down into the other chakras. So that's how trauma really kind of comes in, is something that wasn't expressed and ends up going in through the throat and then goes down into the body. So in order to get that trauma out, we actually have to reverse the process. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up, which is why you'll see most energy practitioners start from the feet, work their way up through the body, because that's the way that energy is going to move in order to release any kind of trauma from the body. And I tried to put as many pretty pictures in here, but it's a lot of information. So this is basically just, I'm sure everybody has seen this. These are the 7 chakras and how they run up through the spine from the pelvic floor, which is down in the red, to the crown chakra, which is at the top of the head. And again, we're just going to take them kind of one by one. One thing that is also very important to understand is you must move energy in the body first to move energy in your mind, and you must move energy in the mind to move energy in your life. So you're always going to start with the body. You have that body, mind, spirit connection. you're always going to start with the body. You're going to start with the physical because that's the base of your pyramid. And then you're going to work your way up to the mind, and then energy and spirit, that's where you're going to transform your life. So here's the anatomy that's associated with root chakra. It's basically pelvic floor and everything down. Pelvic floor is the very base of your torso, so the very, very bottom for people who don't know. And it's a very important part that nobody knows about because it actually is what's kind of holding your stomach, your chest, your lungs, everything. Everything is being supported by your pelvic floor. And it's a very common area for people to go weak, particularly women, particularly if they've had children. And most of the time they don't know it. It does not tend to be something that gets addressed by doctors unless you go to a specialist or unless you come to someone like me. Those are some of the first things that I'm going to start to look at if you're having, say, incontinence or stomach problems or trouble with breathing. One of the things I'm going to be looking at for a lot of those things, pain in your shoulders, I will start with the pelvic floor and then work my way up. I'm also going to start with feet because that's another very fundamental structure of support in your body. So here are some of the health issues associated with imbalances in the root chakra. I'm not going to go through and read them all because I know that you guys are going to be able to tape this and come back and look at it anytime you want to. But if any of this looks familiar, particularly like aches and pains in the legs, that's a big one. Constipation, diarrhea, that one comes up a lot for a lot of imbalances. So that's a good one. Autoimmune, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, arthritis. That was one of the things in terms of, for me with fibromyalgia and autoimmune, I have spent a lot of time really focusing on supporting my root chakra energetically and doing things to make sure that I keep that in balance. And some of those things, some of my favorite things that you can do are right here. Making space is probably the biggest one. Making space in your life means making space in your environment. And if you have chaos in your environment, you're going to have chaos in your mind. I work a lot with hoarders, and hoarders always have imbalances in their root chakra. A lot of that can stem from childhood trauma, not feeling supported as a child by family, family, work, finances. If you're stressed out in any of those areas and not feeling out of control, root chakra is going to be out of balance, and it can start to snowball from there on different types of health issues that you can have, or different types of ways that you're going to act out. It doesn't necessarily have to be health issues. Sometimes we do things and we're like, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? Well, a lot of times it's because something was out of balance, and your body and your mind, your subconscious is trying to get your attention and be like, hey, look at me, pay attention. I need your help. You need to be here, and you need to be really conscious and present and taking care of me, meaning yourself. A lot of people, particularly, not to pick on women or mothers, but it's very, very common, particularly for mothers, to take care of everybody else and leave themselves wide open for complete negligence. They always talk about the story of, if you're on an airplane, make sure you put your oxygen mask on first, because if you pass out, you're no use to anybody else. And that's something that everyone really should take to heart. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself so that you are able to be your best you for other people as well. So making space, one of the things that you can do is just 15 minutes a day. I find this is the easiest thing. Go pick a drawer in your house. You got papers, go just grab a handful, stack of papers, start sorting through them. Start putting them away. 15 minutes a day. By the end of the year, you'd be amazed at how much you can get done. And it's a very good way of just making sure it's not about keeping control, it's about managing your life and keeping you feeling like you have a handle on things so that you don't feel out of control. Feet are the foundations of your balance and the structure of your body. Take care of your feet. I cannot stress that enough. Your balance really depends on your feet. Feet and pelvic floor are probably the two biggest things that get neglected. And then people can't understand why they don't have good balance. It's like, oh, well, I just don't have that. Well, no, it's because you haven't been taking care of what you need to take care of to make sure that you keep that. A tennis ball, golf ball, or frozen water bottle, 2 minutes a day, you can 3 to 5 times a week. You can put it on the floor, sit on a chair while you're watching TV, and just roll it very gently These are your feet. They're attached to your body. Do it gently. Be kind to your body. Do it gently and just roll over your feet. It will trigger and stimulate all the pressure points in the foot, which correspond to all of the organs. So not only are you taking care of your feet, but you're taking care of your internal organs as well. Placing the washcloth down on the ground and then picking up with your toes, 1 foot at a time. You only have to do it 10 times. Do it in the morning. It takes literally 30 seconds, and it will absolutely help keep you grounded for your life. If this is something that you do every day, you have to remember that your toes are connected to your neck, and it runs all the way down through something called the deep longitudinal system, deep longitudinal lines. You will maintain your balance, and it helps you to be present in your life, just to do that simple little exercise every day. So knees are another thing. I include the knees because knees and joints become a real issue for people. Best way to take care of your knees is to just kind of sit on the ground with your legs straight. Just gently put your hands on your thighs on each side of the thigh, and then just push down. Kind of wrap your hands around your leg and just gently push down. You're going to create space in the joint by doing that. You don't have to do it hard, just very light pressure, just pushing down and coming back up to the top and then pushing down, coming back up to the top and pushing down. Will create space in the joints, and it can absolutely prevent you if you start before you have knee issues, or even if you do have knee issues and you start doing this consistently, it can prevent you from ever needing knee replacement surgery. Pelvic floor, I do love to teach, but that's something you can't really teach in this format. I would need to see, because you can do the exercises like a Kegel. You can do those exercises, but if you're doing them wrong, you can actually cause tears. You can cause the muscles to get so tight that you can give yourself back pain, pain in the lower extremities. If those are done wrong, you really need someone who can watch you, make sure that you're activating the muscles properly and that you're not overdoing it. So that's something, if you are interested in that, please feel free to contact me. I would love to discuss it with you. So here's another one, piriformis. If you have sciatic nerve pain or piriformis syndrome, which they feel the same, so most people don't know the difference, all you got to do, put a tennis ball. You can underneath where you can see where the arrow is putting for the piriformis, and you're just going to put a tennis ball right there while you're either laying on the ground or sitting on the ground. Be very careful when you do this. It hurts. I'm not going to lie to you. First time you do it, it is extremely intense. So go slow. Just very gently put your weight onto it. You can also do it where you can see the arrow points to the sciatic nerve, kind of right where the thigh meets the glute right there, and put the tennis ball there. You can also kind of move it around, just feel for whatever hurts. The more you do this, the less it's going to hurt, and you're going to keep amazing mobility in your legs and just avoid a lot of particularly hip problems. This is a good way to avoid ever needing hip surgery as well. Nice and simple. Okay, so we're moving on to sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is like genital region, pelvic floor, I'm sorry, not pelvic floor, genital region, the sacrum, the coccyx, everything around the hips, lower back. And it also includes everything that has to do with water, tears, menstruation, urine, lymph should also be on there as well. Here are some of the qualities that are associated with it. The big thing about this one is that it controls our appetite, food, sex, pleasure. If we are denying ourselves in some area, this chakra will steal from the other chakras in order to get what it needs. A good example for this is people who are not feeling fulfilled sexually tend to overeat. That's probably the biggest thing that I see, and then they can't understand why they can't lose weight. It's because they're not feeling satisfied in another area of their body, and their chakra is stealing and overindulging in one area to compensate for something else. So here are some of the health issues that are associated with it. Lower back pain, you're going to see that in a couple of them. Lack of creativity is one that most people don't realize, but if you're not enjoying the sweetness of life, if you feel deficient in something, you're going to overindulge in another, like I said. And if you are, if you are feeling deficient somewhere, you're going to have a lack of creativity. You're also going to really start to feel stuck. You can start to feel stuck on any of these things. With root chakra and the hoarding, one of the things that me personally, I remember when I went through training with chakras with my coach, I could not get into my closet. It was too crammed with stuff. And she told me, if you can't get into your closet, you can't get into your life. You're not making room for yourself in your own life. And that really resonated with me. It's the same thing with the sacral chakra. If you're not taking time to take care of yourself, your subconscious is going to rob it from somewhere else. And you're not going to be able to, even in your relationships, you're not going to fully be able to be present in your relationships if you're not taking care of your needs. So the people around you do miss out. I don't know what I just did. Okay. Here's some self-care things for sacral chakra. Getting massages is a big one. Going to the ocean, gentle yoga. I'm going to have a lot of yoga poses for different chakras in this. The food pairing at the top is kind of a big one. So if you want to try some of those food pairings, that's a good way. Don't overeat. Just kind of set out a small amount for yourself and then really eat slowly. Take time to enjoy it. That is a really good way to satisfy a lot of those, a lot of other appetites is by doing food pairings. Also, you can do things like saying, you know, right before you eat a blueberry, you say, you know, I love myself and I am a wonderfully open person, and then eat the blueberry. And it's like you're taking that concept into yourself and really taking, bringing that in so that it can nourish you in a much more profound way. So, okay, so I will come back up here. Upward facing knee pose, that's this is right here. So there's an example of it. So if you need to refer back to see what it looks like, I did include some pictures into that. This is bridge pose, which I have the instructions before that, but this is what it looks like. Then we're moving on to solar plexus. Solar plexus is liver, pancreas, stomach area, everything kind of in the middle of your core right there. These are the qualities and everything that's associated, anatomy that's associated, and the qualities associated with it. Self-esteem, self-worth, personal identity, self-confidence, extremely important to make sure that you are constantly staying in movement. Walking is a really great way to help you keep this one going. Being able to face challenges. You need to keep this particular chakra moving in order to be able to handle adversity in your life. So here's some of the health issues associated with it. Chronic fatigue, that one applies to me. You know, I mean, there's different things. As I learned this and really saw where I was stuck, I could really see how it corresponded with the areas of my body that I was not moving, the areas of my body that were really soft and had been flabby and neglected for a long time. Okay, so self-care. There's a yoga pose for that. And then practicing breathing is a good one. And like I said, stone massage is great for solar plexus, but walking actually activates all of the chakras. So walking 20 minutes a day is a great way to actually help keep all this stuff in balance. Helps you clear your mind, helps you, you know, don't obsess over things. While you're walking, look around. Don't think about all the stuff you have to do. Look around and kind of enjoy. Look at the trees, look at the sky, look at as much nature as you can and really be in the moment. That will help to calm your mind, and which will also help you sleep, which will help you focus, will help you in your relationships. So very important tip. And there's the example of the yoga pose for you. Okay, so anatomy associated with heart chakra. Heart, obviously, and everything that's on this list, and then some of the qualities are open heart, forgiveness, or whether you're forgiving or unforgiving, and it's no surprise. The heart, issues with the heart can begin from childhood. If you are not feeling loved as a child, or if there's abuse or anything, it makes it much more difficult to open your heart later in life, making it very hard to really find joy in things. Laughter, humor, caring, compassion, empathetic, and accepting are all things that you're going to have difficulty with. But just because you have difficulty does not mean that you can't do it. It just means it's something that you have to work on, and something you got to work on every day, just a little bit at a time. Over time, it will come. So here's some of the health issues that are associated with it. Asthma, other kinds of lung diseases, lung infections, upper back problems, shoulder problems. Shoulder problems comes up a lot, but here, those are common ones that are associated. And then here are some of the everyday self-care that you can do. At the top of the list, because it is one of the ones I think is the most important, is remind yourself every day of what you're thankful for. Just starting your day that way, instead of, oh God, I gotta go to work, oh God, this is terrible, oh my God, everything's going wrong. Start your day with everything that you are thankful for. And try that for a week and write down how you feel at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, and see if you notice a difference. Because I do this with my clients, and it is very profound in the differences that they do notice. Almost everybody continues to do this. So yoga fish pose, which I will show you a picture of. It's a little difficult to explain. Another thing that you can do if you can't get into fish pose is you can just roll up a large towel, then put it long ways right down your spine and just lay on it with your arms hanging open. That's, if you are more flexible than that and a little more stable than that, you can use a yoga ball and do the same thing. Just put it against your back. Be very careful so you don't roll off of it. And open your arms up. That one, a lot of times when people start it, they can only do it for a couple seconds at a time. And I just tell them, keep getting back into it and try and do it for 2 minutes, and then they can build up from there. But those are wonderful stretches. Not only that, but doing these stretches is really going to, if you did this every day, it will really, really improve your posture. You can't just hold your shoulders back. If your muscles are tightened up, you can't just hold your shoulders back. You're gonna go back to the position that you are the most used to, that your body has the least resistance for. But if you do this, then you're automatically going to start to, your body is going to get used to it and start to want to hold your shoulders back. So that is fish pose. Great heart opener. Then we have throat chakra, which is obviously, jaws, mouth, thyroid, a lot of these pectoral muscles, kind of everything in that area. Has to do with expression, finding one's voice, faith, expressing one's wills and desires. It is, like I said at the beginning, if you hold something back and are not able to express something, it's going to get stuck in that chakra. So this is where everything starts. And then it starts to go down into the other chakras and starts to throw things out of balance. So taking care of this chakra and root chakra, I'd say are the two. You keep those in good balance. The rest really kind of take care of themselves. If you're taking care of throat chakra and root chakra, everything in between kind of goes in balance with it. Here's some of the health issues that are associated with the throat chakra. Neck pain and shoulder pain being probably the two biggest things that I see. Once somebody is able to release and express something that usually has been stuck there for many, many years, usually from childhood, I see a lot of people, I see miracles on my table every day. And being able to get someone to express something is probably one of the biggest ways to get pain out of the body. Yoga bridge pose is a great way for self-care. Listening before you speak and trying to understand, asking lots of questions before you give your thoughts and opinions. Your thoughts and opinions do matter, but you want to make sure that you fully understand what someone else is saying before you give your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, you could be missing each other. And it just really makes a big difference in how you express yourself. When you know how to listen, you have a better time expressing yourself to others. Writing in a journal is great. I do have some people who write in a journal. They write down some of the negative stuff and then burn it, and it really seems to make a difference for them. Sound therapy with singing bowls is a good one. Meditation. We're starting to get into all of the areas where meditation is good for all of the chakras, but particularly from throat up. You really need meditation in order to keep your creation, visualization, all of that functioning properly. And here's our bridge pose again. So brow chakra, this is our third eye or pituitary gland. Eyes, sinuses, temporal lobe, which is at the base of the spine, base of the head in the back, base of the skull. These are the qualities, starting with eyes is how we see the material world, but beyond that is how we have our intuition, our dreaming, our imagination, and our visualization. for success, if we want to be successful in our lives, whatever success looks like for you, if we want to be successful, visualization and imagination are very important. So this is an important chakra for you to take care of. This also is the chakra that allows us to change our perception from negative to positive by really meeting our truth. What is true for us to be our best selves? And that's going to be different for every person. There's nobody who can tell you how to do that. They can make suggestions, but nobody is you. No one can teach you how to be you. You've got to teach you how to be you. Here's the health issues. Migraines are probably one of the biggest things that I work with. Seizures, dizziness. Also, I've had strokes, so I work with a lot of people on that because I understand what they're going through. I also have learning disabilities from childhood, and I always feel like the learning disabilities were probably it was very difficult when I was a child, but I am a champion problem solver now because I had to overcome that, and I didn't get any assistance as a child. This is well before we had anything to help people with learning disabilities. I think I just showed my age there. So here's yoga. For the yoga poses, eagle pose is a good one, and child pose. Meditation 10 to 30 minutes a day. Be sure to focus on your breathing. I did include the Let's Meditate app. It's a guided app. I have a hard time just sitting in silence. But if I do guided meditation, I can meditate no problem. And I find that's true for a lot of people. Here's the eagle pose and the child's pose, the examples of that. And the last one, we'll go through very quickly, is crown chakra, which is at the top of the head. This is cerebral cortex, pineal gland, and controls the nervous system. This controls intelligence, open-mindedness, ability to analyze, wisdom, being able to understand something, comprehend, and then be able to use it and apply. It also has to do with belief and what we believe in ourselves. Okay, health issues associated with that, developmental disorders is a big one. Multiple sclerosis, lupus, fibromyalgia can also fall into this. Again, you're starting to get into a little bit more cerebral in the body, not quite as physical. Yoga fish pose, sorry dogs. Listening to the sounds of nature, meditation, and then when you start to want to really focus on this one, now you get to start practicing meditation in silence and see how far you get. Here's fish pose again. I included this one because I wanted you to see her feet. In the first one, her feet were pointed. In the second one, her feet were pulled back. A lot of yoga poses, you can do that difference between pointing or pulling your feet back. You're going to work different muscles. You're also going to work different energies just by changing the position of your feet. So to recap, meditate 10 to 30 minutes a day, best thing you can do for yourself. Walking is also a great meditation if you allow yourself to clear your mind. Move your body to move your mind to move your life. Make sure that you are moving at least 20 minutes every day. And then taking care of yourself. And I included it this way. This is what I always teach my clients. It's not selfish. It's not about being selfish. It's about self-worth. Taking care of yourself tells your subconscious that you have value and that you matter. Not taking care of yourself tells you, your subconscious that you don't matter and you don't have value. And what example do you want to set for the people you care about? Your children, your spouse, your parents, your friends? What example do you want to set for them? To have them put their oxygen mask on. There's my little pretty thing, and contact information is here. And then here's some resources, more resources that were included in this presentation. They also, if you want to do further reading, these are really great resources. And I really thank you for your time. I've enjoyed this. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thanks, Kelly. Oh, there you are. Good to see you again.
Hi.
Hi. That was great. Thank you for all the information on the chakras, the energy fields. It's very helpful for people, and I especially like when you're talking about meditation, because I do think that's one of the most important things for aligning all of our chakras up and getting us focused is definitely the meditation. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, cleaning and organizing your space and meditating, those are always the first two places I have people start.
Great. Why don't we open up the line here for some questions for you. If anyone out there wants to jump out and unmute yourself and ask some questions for Kelly, please do so.
What up, Kelly?
Hello. Oh, hi, Cliff.
What's up,
Shout
Cliff?
out. Kelly's absolutely amazing. Definitely check her out. I personally use it for myself. Howard's a superstar, and we're raising the vibration, baby.
Woohoo! Awesome.
Love
Thanks.
you, Cliff. Thank you.
And Cliff, look forward to having
He's
you
also
on next
wonderful.
week.
He's my trainer. He's my trainer, and he's fantastic. I wish I had pictures to show you the before and after pictures of my arms since I started working with him.
All right, we've got a little delay here with the video and the audio on that. So, but Cliff, look forward to having you on here next week too, man.
Absolutely, brother.
Thanks for being here. All right. Anyone else want to jump
I
on
do.
here? Oh, hey, Katie.
Hi.
Katie.
Hi, dear. Thank you so much for that. That was so thorough. Oh my gosh. I have come through, or I am still healing CPTSD from childhood on. And I have lots and lots of tools, but I'm still getting stuck in the point that all the tools are there and I'm still lost and can't access them. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Giving me more tools doesn't help. That I've got them. Trust me, I've got them.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do I even express it?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I have been there myself. I know exactly. I was very lucky actually to find somebody at a time when I was stuck and couldn't seem to get past a certain area. And I can tell you, and it's funny because I work with people all the time, and I can help them, no problem, figure out where it is that they're stuck. But when it's yourself, it's always easier when you're dealing with somebody else than dealing with yourself. So yes, what it would be is that there's something unexpressed. That one's going to be in the throat chakra. You've got something that's still not moving up and out. The type of coaching that I do, and if you wanted to, we can always set up a Zoom and kind of talk it over. Because sometimes you can do it. We could do it in 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But there's something that's not expressed, and there's a lot of times the kind of coaching that I do, it's very methodical and taking you through each chakra and asking very pointed questions that once you start to answer them, you got to remember, you do already know what the answer is. For whatever reason, you're just not ready to let it out. Or you just haven't asked yourself the right questions yet, but your body is trying to get your attention. It's trying to get that out. But sometimes, and I firmly believe, we are not meant to do things all by ourselves. We're meant to do things with other people. That's why we're social creatures. And sometimes we just need to have that help of somebody else who's just going to be there to ask those questions, because we can't think of what we can't think of, or we don't know what we don't know. It's just a question of, probably the biggest thing is I'll hear people say something to someone else. It's like they'll let them off the hook. Person who's going through kind of the same thing, and they'll let them off the hook, and they will give the answer, the right answer to that person, but then they just don't see it when it's them. So, and I bet you have already told people what the answer for yourself is, and just have not put it in context of yourself. We're always so much harder on ourselves than we actually should be. I'm not sure why, but I do think that it's just about growth and just being able to overcome something. Then you appreciate it. When you struggle with it, you really appreciate it. So, but yeah, I mean, feel free. I would love to talk to you. We can talk over Zoom and just spend some time and see. I can kind of run through some questions, see if we can't figure it out together.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Should I email you then?
Okay.
Yeah, her information's in the chat.
Okay.
So
You can email me my phone number. Yeah, my phone number and everything is right there. Feel free to give me a call. We can set something up.
Okay, will do. Thank you, dear.
Yeah, it's easier for me to actually talk to people because I work more with energy, and I can't get energy from email as well as I can from actually talking to someone.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, and I appreciate your question. Thank you for sharing that too.
Thanks for jumping out, Katie. We had a question, one more from Kim about fibromyalgia.
Okay.
So you have any thoughts about that?
Fibromyalgia it's a combination of things. Almost every single person who has fibromyalgia, there's underlying trauma. They're almost always very energetic, sensitive people. And not, when I say sensitive, I don't mean overly sensitive. I mean, they're just sensitive to like chemicals, to people's energy, very intuitive. There's the underlying trauma, and then there's some sort of catalyst, a high fever, a car accident, something that triggers it, a disease. So, you know, Lyme disease is one that can trigger, which is why the two got confused for a long time. In almost every single case, you're going to see kind of that same pattern. So the biggest thing, if you want to start to feel better from fibromyalgia, is you really have to watch diet, kind of cut out everything, and really get down for about 30 days, really cut down to just kind of proteins and vegetables, and that's it for a while, and then slowly introduce one food at a time, see how you feel, so that you know what to start eliminating from your diet. Because about 30 to 90 days, you're going to start to feel better if you really watch that diet for a while. And that's hard, particularly for fibromyalgia people. We like to eat. But that's where you're going to want to start. Fibromyalgia also can be parasites. People don't realize that, and doctors frequently misdiagnose. They don't realize how frequently parasites are going to be involved in that. So those are the first two things. When I get fibromyalgia clients who are really suffering, those are the first two things that we start. To find out if you have a parasite, one of the best ways to do that is a coffee enema. You will find out very quickly if you have parasites. I can show you pictures, really, of things that clients have sent me. But it is a really good way to kind of detox, and if you do have parasites, you're going to find out right away, and then you can really start to get treatment. You know when you're going to your doctor, you can go in and tell them, hey, this is what's going on. If they don't listen to you, find another doctor. That is a big one too. Doctors, just because they went to school does not mean they know who you are. You know who you are better than anybody else. Those are the first two things that I would start with. And again, if she wants to give me a call, I can go into more depth. And I have materials that I'm perfectly happy to send. I'm not charging for any of that. I will send her so that she can start to track things, so that she can, it helps when you're tracking, so that you can really start to get a handle on what it is that's making you feel bad and what's making you feel better.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Kelly. And thanks for the question, Tim. All right, so thanks again for everything, Kelly. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for asking.
And all your information, again, all our information's on the chat, as well as our website.
This is good. I've never done anything like this.
So, well, glad you're here. And the website is Raise Your Vibration Event.
Howard.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
We've got a little delay here. So,
okay.
all the recordings, you get more, all Kelly's information on raiseyourvibrationevent.com. And thanks again, Kelly. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. Luke and Claire, we'll bring you out again here and play a couple more songs for us. You there?
Yeah. Hi, we're excited.
Hi.
We've got a song for you that we've been doing for years. It's been a big hit with Michael's band, The Effects. You've probably heard it live. And it's a song I enjoyed helping them to write, so I'm excited we get to do it today.
All right. I'm going to be, thank you.
1, 2, 3. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. You and I are magnets no one else will ever do. Every inch of me is loving every inch of you. Just before I met you, I was traveling on my own. I looked into your eyes and I was home. Faster, faster, we are spinning. With you, babe, I'm always winning and it feels so good. Now that I have found you, there's nothing we can't do. Ups or downs, we stick together just like glue. Life was slow and time was dragging in the muck. I touch your hand and I'm in luck. Round and round we're turning with your love. I'm always burning and it feels so good. Feels so good. Feels so good to be with you. Sing along. Feels so good. Only 3 words. Feels so good. Feels so good to be with you. Yo! Take my hand and please believe me. Take my heart and never leave me. You're everything I wanted, this I know. You and I have come together. Feeling strong, we'll stay forever. We're gonna find out how far we can go. You and I are magnets no one else will ever do. 'Cause every inch of me is loving every inch of you. Life was slow and time was dragging in the muck. I touch your hand and I'm in luck. Faster, faster, we are spinning with you, babe. I'm always winning and it feels so good. Feels so good. Feels so good to be with you. What you wanna do? Feels so good. Feels so good. Feels so good to be with you. Feels so good. Feels so good. Feels so good to be with you. Feels so good.
There you have it.
Excellent, you two.
Got time for one more?
Let's do a quick one. Yeah, that'll be great.
All right.
All right.
Well, here we go. This is a very touching, moving kind of song. I feel a lot with it. Hope you do too.
Yes.
It's called Immortal Eyes.
You pulled me out of the darkness without a doubt. No more lies. I can hear you, waiting sure I'm near you. I feel the tide within me rise. The meaning's crystal clear. Clouds all disappear when I see the fire behind your eyes. I look deep, deep into my soul. Your gaze is breaking all the ties. Ties that bind me away from you, keeping us apart. The way you stare into my heart with your immortal eyes. I wanna be in your presence, so hungry for your voice. Here with no defenses, lost in all my senses. I'm feeling free without a choice. The magnetism strong. I love the way I'm drawn. Just let go, we are gonna fly. Look deep, deep into my soul. Your gaze is breaking breaking all the time. Ties that bind me away from you, keeping us apart. The way you stare into my heart with your immortal eyes. Your immortal eyes. The magnetism strong. I love the way I'm drawn. Just let go. We are gonna fly. Look deep, deep into my soul. Your gaze is breaking all the time. Ties that bind me away from you, keeping us apart. The way you stare into my heart with your immortal eyes. Your immortal eyes. Your immortal eyes. Oh, oh.
All right, thanks you too. That was amazing, as usual. So thanks for being here. All your information it's going to be in the chat on the website, of course. So the recordings, and we look forward to having you again soon. So thanks.
And anybody that's got a musician you'd like to introduce to this venue, let me know. Just email me at lukeandclairemusic.com.
Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Luke. Have a great week. And we have a little meditation to end everything with Dominic Quin-Harkin. Are you out there, Dominic? Somewhere if you want to mute yourself. Dominic? Let's see ya. Oh, there you are. Hi, Dominic. So we're gonna, hi, Dominic's been with us before. He did an amazing meditation for us, and I wanted to call him here out again for us to just end with some nice, relaxing, energizing meditation to bring our week and raise our vibration up. So thanks for being here again, Dominic.
Thanks a lot, Howard. Is my volume okay? Can you guys hear me all right?
It's a little tinny.
I know, that's why I brought an external microphone. Give me one moment for a second here. Let me replug this in. Yeah, I brought an extra webcam that I could use the microphone on. So let me see.
All right. That sounds a little better.
Is that better now?
Better, yes. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you for telling me that. All right, everyone. Wonderful messages. Kelly, thanks for all of that. Appreciate all of that. I'm going to actually try to incorporate some of that into the meditation here. So if everyone wants to just find a space, find an area, you can wiggle your hip bone back and forth until you find that calm space where you can just be centered in the space with you in full balance. And start with a few deep breaths. Let's breathe in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 3, 4. And exhale 2, 3, 4. And just focus on that cycle of inhaling deeply, holding for a few moments, and then exhaling deeply. And as you start your inhale, you can start to bring in all of the joy, the expansiveness, and the love that's within this vortex, this group. And with every exhale, you can attach all of the fears, the worries, the concerns, and allow them to exit as you exhale. And start to just bring that attention to your breath. Now let's imagine your body starting to grow. As we grow straight down through our chair, straight down through our feet, like a tree trunk going deeper into the earth, deeper and deeper, like the strong tree trunk, fully grounded, fully connected. And as it gets deeper, we can see in all directions these beautiful root structures starting to anchor out in all directions, fully grounded, fully present, fully connected. And now I want you to imagine this beautiful golden light, this liquid light, almost like lava, starting to seep up through your root structure as it fills this magnetic energy of the earth, fills up through the root structure, through the trunk as it comes up through the earth, up into your feet, filling up through your legs, your hips, filling up your chest, your torso, filling up your arms, your neck, your shoulders, your head. As it surrounds your heart, let's expand that out to 360 degrees. Fully connected, fully filled, and completely here. And as we are grounded and completely connected with the earth, let's also imagine this beautiful beam of light coming from the heavens straight down, this beautiful white light, this beam of light coming through our crown chakra and going all through our spine and also going down deep into the earth, anchoring us fully connected to our spiritual and grounded nature, fully present, fully here. Now in your mind's eye, I'd like you to pull up two mirrors in front of you, one on each side, mirror number 1 and mirror number 2. And as you can see in them, there are different reflections that are coming back. If you bring the first mirror to your attention, you can look in there. And I want you to see, this is the first reflection that shows the version of you that you have been in the past, that you've been bringing to this present space. And you can see all of the pains that you've been experiencing. You've been seeing all of the blockages that you've had. You've been seeing all the difficulties. You've been seeing all of the strife and the inner emotions that have been coming up, especially through all of the social injustice that we've been feeling, the helplessness that we've been feeling, the need to speak out, all of the pain that is in there and everything that's been holding you back from being your highest self. And I want you to see it, notice it, and send it love, saying that that's okay. I am okay. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And now let's take that. Let's let that mirror float to the side, and let's take the other mirror and bring that to our attention. And in this second mirror, we can see a different reflection. See a reflection of our most powerful version of ourselves. We see a reflection of our true embodiment of our power, our boldness, our authenticity. We see a version of us that's free of limitation. We see a version of us that's full of the expression of asking for what we want, of saying yes when we mean yes, and saying no when we mean no. We see a version of us that speaks out against the injustice we see. We see a version of us that has the power to affect others. We see the version of us that overcomes these physical, emotional, and energetic limitations that have been put upon ourselves. And however it appears in you, you can start seeing scenes from this version of yourself. Notice, how are you standing? How are you holding your head? How are you seeing the world? What kind of gaze is coming from your eyes? What kind of energy is coming from your body and your hands? How does this person walk? How does this person talk? Are you able to boldly say what you need in this life and ask for what you want? Do you show up? And now think of anything else that I'm not speaking of yet, anything else you notice, anything else you see, anything else you feel of this person, of the highest potential of you. And now let's take a step back and let these mirrors float back a little bit so you can see both. And you have both in front of you, and you now have a choice point of which version you would like to hold moving forward. Now, I would hope that all of us would like to choose that second one, but it's really up to you what you would like to choose. And so for the one that you would like to let go of, let's go ahead and take that in a hand, and we can either release it, push it to the side, we can dissolve it, we can have it float away peacefully, or we can break it. And however you like to take that deep breath and allow that releasing to happen as it resolves, as it dissolves, releases, it clears, it's banished, letting it go. And now with this remaining mirror, let's bring that to the forefront, right there, this image of who we want to be moving forward. And let's inhale, filling up from the ground. And now exhaling into the mirror, allowing to fill that mirror with light and life energy. And now inhale that mirror, inhale everything within that into the body, and allowing that information to now ground as you exhale into the earth, allowing you to connect both the earth and your future with the present. And now I want you to take this golden white light surrounding the mirror, surround it with this golden and white light, and now start to compress it, compress it, compress it into this golden white light, this ball, this beautiful ball that's fully encoded with all of the pieces that are desired and everything that's required for you to embody this highest version of yourself. And now as we take that ball, reach out and pull that into your heart center, pull that in and allow that to connect deeply into your heart and let it land, let it in, let it expand, let it shoot into every single area and cell of your body, every single piece, all the way to your toes, all the way to your fingers. Let it vibrate out. And as you feel that, feel the joy that you feel with this. And as you feel that emotional joy, then go ahead and double that. Let that doubled feeling fill within your body and allow that to encode your entire body with all the information that's needed to make this person you, so you can be your authentic self moving forward, and let that just radiate and fill throughout every cell of your body. That's it. And as we feel fully awoken, fully at peace with everything within our body, alive, energetic, vibrating, I want you to feel this core identity of who you are. I choose my highest identity. I choose my highest identity. I remember who I am. I remember who I am. And now let this energy fully be present, fully connected. And now bring your attention to this vortex we've created, this group vortex, and go ahead and pick just one person that's in this vortex that you notice, and make a connection from your heart center to their heart center. And let them know, I see you. I witness you. And now receive what they are saying to you. I see you. I witness you. And fully receive that. And now let this information, the spiritual information, start to decode into your DNA and start to physicalize within your body, allowing all of the old DNA that once constructed us start to unwind, turn to gray, fall into ash. Keep unwinding this old DNA of limits, pain. Let it just fall into this pile of ash. And now, like the phoenix, go ahead and allow this brand new DNA start to rewind this DNA of limitless possibility, these beautiful DNA of reds and yellows and greens and blues. Rewind and refill your body completely. As it fills every body, every piece of your body, every cell, allow it to expand. And thank you for the guidance within your heart, within your being, to allow this to transpire. And allow the connection of your mind, your emotions, your spirit, and your body to fully physicalize as you bring your body starting to come back to this physical space, noticing the darkness behind your eyes, noticing the sound of my voice, noticing the chirpings of the bird if you're outside, noticing the rustling of the wind. And so it is. And so it is. And now start to bring, in your own time, your body back to the physical awakening, opening your feet, wiggling them around, your hands, your fingers, your eyebrows, your nose, and allow that completely to come back when you are available and ready.
Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, Dominic, if you want to also put your information in the chat box for people, that'd be great. So
Absolutely, sure.
thank you. Thanks for being here again.
Absolutely, guys.
And
Sorry I was a
everyone.
little bit late. I was finishing up with an energy client just before you got.
Oh, no problem. You made it just on time. So thanks again, everyone. Kelly, Luke and Claire, Dominic, thanks for everyone who is being here every week and joining us. And please tell your friends and family and anyone who wants to raise their vibration every week to join us. And as well as any musicians or speakers that you know who want to be on here and share their gifts and their hearts with the world, please send them our way. So the website, raiseyourvibrationevent.com. They can email us from there. And have a great week, everyone. Raise your vibration, stay high, and spread love and light to the world. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Howard. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give.